Hi, in this video we are going to analyze the impact of the new antiretroviral drug approved by FDA, which is being manufactured by GILEAD. This is an important news because HIV drugs are to be taken on a daily basis, whereas the new drug from GILEAD is to be taken once every 6 months. Thereby, it will result in savings for both the government and the patient. Now, two leading companies in manufacturing of HIV drugs are GILEAD and VIIV Healthcare, which is owned by GSK. The combined revenues of the company is almost $7,000 million, whereas the estimated $7,000 for quarter 2025, whereas the estimated total revenue of HIV drugs is at $9,000 million. From 2022 to 2025, there has been a slowing of growth of GILEAD, whereas GSK growth has been in double digits. So, the real question now is, should we invest in GILEAD? On comparing with GSK, we see that share of revenue of HIV drugs for GSK is 25%, whereas for GILEAD it is 64%. Now, the revenue of GSK for 2024 was $42 billion and a profit of nearly $4 billion, while the company currently is at a valuation of $81 billion. On the other hand, GILEAD has a revenue of $29 billion. Profit suffered last year, however, the company is back on track this year. However, on a revenue of $29 billion, the market cap of the company of GILEAD is currently at $134 billion. I think, which is extremely high. Also, since the share of revenue of GILEAD is high at HIV drugs is high at 64%, any policy changes, pharmacy companies all over the world suffer through policy changes and litigations by many pharmacy companies, and also litigation from companies which are manufacturing generic version of the drugs. Now, on comparing, GSK is better position because share of revenue of GSK from HIV drugs is 25%. So any policy regulatory changes will affect the company to a much lesser extent. Whereas GILEAD, since it is 64%, it will suffer to much great extent. However, I would have ignored this fact that the share of revenue of GILEAD is 64% if the market cap of the company would be at a lower level. Since the market cap is at $134 billion on a revenue of $29 million, I find it extremely difficult and overvalued at this moment. Thank you. Please feel free to comment.